Hello guys, and welcome to a quick video today showing you how to farm a very easy pet sarachnis and the gear setup you want to be using. So we'll take a quick little look at that. First of all, you want to be making sure you're using crush. You want to have a Saradomin Godsword, 2 Divine Super Restores, an inventory full of sharks, and also make sure that your Godsword's set to crush. And for the gear, you want to bring Arania boots, Barrow's gloves, light bearer, mixed Diard top and body, a Vernic defender, zombie axe, a mythical cape, amulet of torture, the best blessing you've got, and a helmet and Neater's knot is what I go for the prayer bonus. To get here, you just want to go down into 4-4's dungeon. You probably want to prayer flick these spiders on the way through to not take any damage. Just go through these webs. And follow this tunnel thing all the way through this second set of webs and this third set of webs over here. And once you run down here, you're at Sarachnis. Now, it's a fairly easy boss, to be honest with you. I'll explain a few mechanics just while we find the world. So basically, what Sarachnis does, she'll attack you with range or mage. Or range or melee, should I say. So you want to be standing next to her at all times, so you only need to protect from melee. So that's where the Arania boots are really good, because she also has a special attack that will freeze you in place for a couple of ticks while she runs away to attack you with range. So Arania boots really good here, make this boss super farmable. You can get probably around 50-55 kills an hour. So it's a super easy pet, very low intensive boss, super easy to farm, and it's a very cheap setup as well. So it's not too expensive to get into doing this. If you're after a quick pet, it's a nice, decent little pet to do. So what we normally do on our entry, we'll protect range, like you said, it's in there. And as we get close, we're going to protect from melee. We're just going to flick piety. And that's basically the entire boss fight, realistically. At a certain percent in health, she'll spawn a couple of minions. We're basically going to ignore the minions. She'll spawn 2 melee minions and 2 mage minions. Yeah, so we're already protected from 60% of the damage that we're going to get by just camping melee prey. So that's what we're going to do. That's why we've also brought the D-hard top and bottoms for a little bit of mage defense, just to tank the magic thralls, shall we call them. And yeah, this is basically what we're going to do, guys. So we'll get into these kills. I'll show you a full trip. And yeah, Sarachnis is as easy as it's ever been. Well guys, we've hit that point in the video where I'd like to ask you to hit that like and subscribe button if you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. A nice easy way to kill sarachnis, completely farmable, repeatable process, no mechanics that are overcomplicated at all, gear that's completely achievable by anybody. Thanks for watching so far guys, enjoy the rest of the video. go guys, it's sarachnis cudgel. That's one of the uniques from here. The only other unique you can really get on the drop table is the pet, but I think that's maybe my third or fourth cudgel from here now or something like that. Not too rare these days, but it's always nice to see one. To be honest with you, your average trips are about 500-600k regardless, so we'll see what the loot is after this to see if that gives us a little boost on the loot, or to see if we get unlucky elsewhere. Well guys, we're looking very low on supplies now. We're out of prayer potions. I think this will possibly be our last kill. It really depends on the Saragod sword specs at this point. We need more prayer basically to get another kill. Or if we had a little bit of hard food it wouldn't be too bad, so we'll see how it goes. This trip's probably going to be over pretty soon though, and we'll do a little loot tally just to see what a rough trip at Sarachnis nets you these days. And just as we say that, we get a hard food drop, so we might just stay to wait out another spec and see how we get on, see if we can squeeze another kill out of this trip. Then we'll definitely be banking. So there we go guys, 631k in loot. We've still got a hard glue casket as well to do, and we've got a couple of pages as well which are basically 1000 GP each. But yeah, you expect to get around 500 to 600k anyway, so the cudgel did make up a little bit extra. Maybe it made up for an extra kill or two, but nothing too substantial these days because the price is way down on it. But there we go guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I will just quickly bank all this stuff now, and once we've done that we'll show you how to get back to Sarachnis nice and quickly using your player owned house, so you can get those 55 kill trips for the pet farm. Once again, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Feel free to click like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching guys. So once you teleport to your player owned house, you're going to want to use your mounted Xeric's talisman to go to the Xeric's glade. From there you're going to want to run west towards the Force dungeon, and that's going to be the fastest way to get there. But if you don't have this available, the other way to get there is to buy a Watson teleport on the Grand Exchange, and from there you're going to run from Watson's house to the other Force dungeon entrance, past the undead druids and through to Sarachnis that way. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you hit that like and subscribe button. Peace out.